Regarding immutability, how does IPFS work for assets if clarification needed assets such as videos, photos, audios? David?
IPFS are decentralized storage. Now, what does decentralized storage mean? It means basically that the only way to retrieve data from a particular IPFS cloud is to have one of the upload hashes from it. And this is something we can tie in and store in exactly the Mongo database we're partnering with. It came originally from something called distributed hash tables. If some of you can remember the second wave of torrent sites, where you could connect to a torrent swarm using something called DHT. DHT tells you basically how to talk to a particular cloud of IPs that are connected to and can serve up a specific file. So imagine this on a slightly grander scale, but where each upload has essentially data pinned to a point in one of these clouds. Some of it will be just metadata, text. Some cases it'll be video, some cases it'll be JPEGs. It can be all kinds of things. We've got a tutorial for setting up a private cloud and cluster. Charlie has done that. But yeah, no, this is actually a good idea, explaining how it works and why it's workable with this. If you're familiar with something like, for example, Filecoin or Artweave, or what is it they're called, that one storage coin that actually works? Is it Chia? I think it might be Chia. Chia can do a similar kind of thing.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Where you can do basically storage, but it's the decentralized network itself that you've paid for the storage. So as long as the decentralized network is running, you will be able to get and retrieve that data. Where something like MongoDB comes in is, for example, on an Explorer, it can store a list of these hashes together with the transaction hashes that we use to create the assets we're talking about, so it can speed up the whole lookup process. It can maybe even hold a limited amount in like a preview or pre-search stage, just like when you mouse over certain icons on certain sites, they kind of pop out at you a little bit and show you a little bit of what's under there. That's where we would come in and kind of combine the decentralized service with a centralized search tool. Yeah.
Basically, it came down also sorry, I mix French and English right now. It came down also to the understanding of always use the storage for assets for token or NFTs,
Yeah.
So basically what happens is that you can think of it as different level of resilience of an asset. Basic level in decentralized way.
There's a second question from the same guy that actually helps specify it a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Second related question: what about long-term immutability, say several centuries or more years in the future?
Yeah, so
that's a public registry. Well, this is where the nodes themselves come in. We are going to be providing a certain amount of storage on at least some of the nodes. That's why they actually have this 0.5 to 1 TB disk requirement in some of the early specs we worked out. And at least for anything that comes out via RTM's own platform, we are going to worry about ensuring that storage is available for it. If it's from an individual who is issuing an asset on their own, I would have to say it's not really the project's problem. How their storage lasts or doesn't last, that's something that they individually will have to answer for. But anything that's going to come out via official RTM channels, like on the vendor platform or something like that, is going to get a certain amount of cluster space on the node network.
Basically, guys, what you have to understand is that the level of resilience is whatever you want to do. We can implement storage on a different level. It's something that I've been thinking, David, if I'm thinking correctly. It could be IPFS, the node itself, and you can use even the blockchain to storage. But mostly what is used is the link that point to a storage in IPFS. That's the first level of resilience that you get. But if you don't, if you don't call it, if you don't use it, if you don't go to see what it's on and where it is, on the long run, for sure, IPFS can lose bit of the metadata, but it's in the long run, and if there is no usage of it, so that's one of the points. But if we are storing it on the nodes, that's a very hard way. On immutability, there is no problem over it.
Yeah, cool.